updated draft needs for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you were to look at it on the surface, the needs would be, I think, what would you say the needs are?
Guard, tight end, running back.
Okay.
Maybe some linebacker.
Corner.
I mean, they added Gilmore. They like Bland. They got Diggs. I mean, it's something that's in there. I wouldn't say it's at the very top, though, after they got Gilmore.
Okay.
So my question, my concern is, like, I don't want them, when they got Gilmore, when they got Cooks, the first thing I was like, do not allow this to alter your draft plan.
Mm-hmm.
They're not long-term solutions, right? So I wanted to see, all right, if there's a good wide out or corner that they get in the first round, then go get it. You know, that's what it is. So ESPN had their top needs. Top need, tight end, running back, wide receiver, corner, linebacker.
They are missing what is currently number one, which is left guard. Because if they're not going to play Tyler Smith at guard, they do not have a starting left guard right now.
I thought we had 2 tight ends. Why do we need a tight end? I thought we all loved Fergie.
Fergie.
You've got
we all liked Ferguson.
You've got a decent duo, but I mean, there's so many good tight ends in this draft that, I mean, you can definitely get better.
This is what the write-up is. Dallas filled many of its needs by trading for Cooks and Gilmore and retaining Van Der Esch and Tyron Smith. But it lost Zeke and Dalton Schultz, so watch those positions. Even after adding Cooks, a young receiver can't be overlooked. If Dallas likes alongside CeeDee Lamb, if a player Dallas likes alongside CeeDee Lamb slips to 26, the first order of business should be loading up targets around Dak Prescott. The Cowboys have to get younger across the board, including on defense. They have 7 total selections. Oh, I love that. Load up, baby. Load up at the wide receiver position. Huh?
And who is this?
That wrote it?
Yes.
Jordan Reed.
Okay.
The draft guy.
Yeah, I know Jordan.
What are you mocking you for? You should be in love with it. It's the same thing every year. Give the favorite kid even more things.
Right.
Give him more silver spoons. Every year, just load up the weapons. As you know, Michael Gallup and his extension, and Amari and Lamb and Zeke and all the first rounders, and
all those
Witten
wonderful
and
weapons.
Dez
all those wonderful.
That's not enough. It's just not enough.
Sure. I mean, you guys were out there in training camp and we were like, yeah, we're going to start undrafted free agent wide receiver Dennis Houston in week 1 because we have such a just plethora of talent at the receiver. We all were talking about how awful they were for stacking the receiver position last year.
We were talking about Houston and Washington and, yes, making fun of it a little bit. They also drafted a 3rd rounder. The Dak did not make any better in Jalen Tolbert.
He did not.
I'm joking with that one. I'm blaming Jalen Tolbert for that. Go ahead.
So there's the...
My old school change this offseason for the record. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. I want to load up the defense. That's the only way they're going to win the Super Bowl. Defense first. In the playoffs.
I mean, defense definitely matters. It's just hard to predict. It's much easier to predict how good you're going to be on offense than defense. So, having figured that out, I also saw this other interesting piece. This is from Bill Connolly, he's a college guy, but he's an analyst. He's probably one of the best at determining which teams are going to be the best.
Former Texas governor.
What?
Oh, no, that was John Connolly.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
He was in the car with Kennedy.
So, he says that he did a study about wide receivers in the draft, that over the last 3 years, wide receivers have basically never busted in the NFL draft. In the first round.
Oh, okay.
In the first round. Because one of them did in the 3rd round.
Do you think that you can put together 3 straight comments today, one of them not being sarcastic? Just
Probably
3.
not.
3 straight today.
I'll try, Sean.
Your percentage is like 98 right now. On the show.
So I just go aggressively sarcastic when I don't take my Adderall, is what you're saying.
I don't know.
Because I didn't take it today.
Okay. There you go.
So, of the 17 wide receivers taken in the first round of the last 3 drafts, 7 of them were picked 12th or higher. By the way, in the previous 3, there was only 7 wideouts in the first round.
Wow.
Of the previous 3 drafts.
Okay.
In the last 3, there's been 17.
Ooh.
Okay. Now, by the way, there hasn't been a running back pick higher than 24th since 2018.
Ooh.
Now,
take that, Bijan.
That's right. So, according to Conley, almost none of the 17 first rounders were reaches. 5 of those produced 1,000-yard rookie seasons. 5 more had 1,000-yard second season. So now 10 of the 17 had 1,000 yards.
Good Lord.
3 more had 1,000-yard third seasons. That's 13 to the 17. A fourth came within 28 yards of that mark. So now we're at 14. The ones that didn't, Henry Ruggs.
What happened to him?
Well, he was on pace for it. He was at 469 yards through 7 games. And then he changed several lives with one awful decision. And then the other one was Jalen Reagor. That's it. He's the only bust.
That's a pretty unbelievably perfect hit rate.
It's
almost perfect.
It almost is.
Now, I don't think you can just take it as a hard and fast rule, though, and say wide receiver in the first, like, now it's all good to go. Because I think all those receiver classes were praised as being like, these are extra strong receivers. Like everybody talked about them being really good strengths and that they had really, like, nobody this year is talking about the first round receivers as being anywhere close to some of the last several years, that there's no like top dog. The number one receiver in this draft, whoever you would have, Jackson Smith and Jigba from Ohio State, Quentin Johnston from TCU, whoever you would have, would in these classes that you're talking about probably be like the fifth receiver.
Sure. Now look, and also depends on who you go to. If the top 4 or 5 receivers are all taken between picks 20 and 32, or I guess 31 this year because Miami doesn't have a pick. Like if my guy Jalen High goes to Kansas City, like he's probably going to put up 1,300 yards this year, like just because of Patrick Mahomes and the system they run.
I mean,
right, he's so fast, and but any of these receivers go to a really good quarterback, they're probably going to succeed.
Yeah, especially with the volume that people throw the ball now.